everyone, welcome to the English drill. In this video, I am going to talk about how to attempt a reflective composition. A reflective composition is a free choice composition, which means that you can give it any direction you want. There are no hard and fast rules that you need to follow in order to write a reflective composition. It is open-ended, open to interpretation, and you can either write it factually or you can write a descriptive, narrative, or argumentative composition out of it. So there's no such rule as to how you have to write a reflective composition. For example, like I've already discussed in the descriptive, narrative, argumentative essays and stories, there are specific sets of rules for each. In descriptive essays, you have to focus on the descriptions, on your senses. In a narrative essay, you have to focus on the narration, the events as they unfold, and your reaction, your response to those events. An argumentative essay is mostly about either arguing for or against the given statement and stating 5 to 6 facts and developing on those facts on a particular line of thought. I've also discussed the elements of story writing which are absolutely essential and which you cannot go back on. But a reflective composition, interestingly, has no such rules. You can give it any shape you want. So, it is an open-ended composition. There is no such scope of the topic that would be given to you. You can give it any direction you want as long as you stay within the word limit of the essay. Now the second point is that reflective compositions in icse usually come in the form of one-word or two-word topics. For example, topics like friendship, love, rainbow, seasons, inspiration, dedication, charity. These are all one-word topics. Necessity, justice. So these are the topics that will be given to you, and you will be expected to write whatever you want on these topics. It doesn't have to be a story that you write on friendship. It doesn't have to be a description of what friendship means to you. You can give it a blend of whatever you want. You can even include a paragraph on your experience of friendship or love in general. And in the other paragraphs, you can talk about what it means to different people or what it means to you. What are your thoughts when it comes to friendship and love? For example, for rainbow, you can explain it scientifically in one paragraph. You can also connect the concept of the rainbow to the LGBTQ plus representation, and so on. There are various things you can talk about in the same essay. There's nothing particular that you need to focus on. You might also get two-word topics for reflective compositions like child labor, global warming, hard work, and so on and so forth. Now keep one thing in mind. Do not just write one particular kind of essay on these topics. It's not like a picture composition that you can either write an argumentative or a descriptive or a narrative composition and develop the whole essay along that line. You do not have to do that in reflective compositions. Reflective compositions is more about reflections. It's about your thoughts. The kind of thoughts that you get the moment you hear a word like love or friendship or inspiration. So it is a thought-based, a reflection-based composition. You do not have to develop it along the specific line of one particular kind of essay. You can blend all the modes together, description, narration, arguments, and also introduce a paragraph, a small story about how you experienced friendship or love or the seasons at some point of time. So this is how a reflective composition is to be attempted. Now the third rule is that since the subject is so wide, For example, a topic like necessity or a topic like charity. It's wide. It can encompass many different aspects under it. So since it's so wide and open to interpretation, the way you write the essay becomes very important. So one idea must lead to another idea in the next paragraph and give a coherence to the composition on the whole. So it cannot be disconnected. It cannot be like in one paragraph you are explaining the scientific reason, the scientific explanation about why you get to see rainbows in the first place. And then suddenly, in the very next paragraph, you write something completely different about your experience of watching a rainbow. No, that cannot happen. It should logically lead from one paragraph to another. Something in the first paragraph should connect with what you're writing in the second paragraph. So a logical connection must be mentioned, and this will be clear to you when you read our samples, the sample reflective essays that are already given. So that is how, if you follow the sample, the pattern, the format in the sample, you can understand how exactly you need to write reflective compositions. The next point is, the composition should be an ideal mix of factual description and imaginative narration. Yes, so there has to be facts, there has to be factual description of the topic that is given to you, but there also has to be this imaginative element, a narrative element. So for friendship or love, try to incorporate at least one paragraph of your own individual experience of friendship or love or seasons or charity or necessity, whatever. So if you get a topic like charity, it's very easy to write because you can incorporate one paragraph on how you engaged in charity, on how you went out and helped others in your own way. So a narrative element has to be there where you connect your own individual person to the topic that is given to you. You write something about yourself, how you as a person resonate with the topic. So that is very important. And then there also has to be a factual description. What friendship means to you, or what friendship is generally supposed to mean. These are all facts. What love is generally supposed to mean, how people respond to friendship, love in their own way. So there's facts and there's also individual experience. It has to be a blend of both. The next point is, do not ramble on and on or offer a disconnected heap of points. So you have to plan your reflective essay very, very carefully. The paragraphs, like I said, they have to be logically connected with one another. You cannot just go on and ramble on and on and on and on and make it a stream of consciousness type essay. That is not allowed. You have to have a logical connection between the paragraphs, and your points cannot be disconnected. They have to be connected in some way. Therefore, planning is necessary. If you are planning to attempt a reflective essay, first take a rough sheet of paper and jot down whatever comes to your mind when you think about topics like global warming or child labor, or one-word topics like friendship, love, and so on. Jot down the points on that rough sheet of paper and see if you can find a connecting link between all of those points. If you do not find connecting links between some points, it's better to exclude those points altogether and frame your essay based on the points between which you can find a connecting link. You can also use linking words and phrases, transitional words and phrases at the beginning of your paragraphs in order to connect one paragraph to another. That is how you can frame a reflective composition very, very easily and effectively. The next point is pursue at least some threads of argument in detail. There has to be some argument in your reflective essay or in your one-word essay, some factual argument. You do not have to make it a complete argumentative essay, but like I said, it has to be a blend of everything. So if you are writing on a topic like love or friendship, how can you involve arguments there? The argument can be, what other people think of it, but what you perceive of something like love or friendship and how they are conflicting, whether you agree or disagree to other people's opinions. So that is how you introduce arguments in your reflective composition. But do not make the whole composition about it, because this is not an argumentative essay. Remember that. You can explore these ideas in one paragraph and that will be enough. So suppose, you introduce other people's notion of love and then you introduce your notion which is different from theirs, and how it is different and why it is different. Why you cannot agree to how most other people perceive of it or think of it. And how is your approach to that idea unique, and why you think it is better or best serves your purpose. This is how you can introduce some threads of argument to your reflective essay. And the last and perhaps the most important point is that you have to show some originality in your reflective essay. Show that you have thought out the essay for yourself. Show that you really have a lot to say about the topic that has been given to you. And it is not just a rip-off of things you have read, but thoughts that you have come up on your own. Your essay should show, your essay should prove that you have done some deep introspection, you have thought about it a lot, and the essay is just a product of your own introspection, of your own deep thinking. So this is very, very important. This originality element in your reflective essay is extremely important. It cannot be just about what other people think of a particular topic, and that is what you're borrowing, and that is what you are kind of, incorporating in your own ideas. No, that cannot be done. You have to show that you yourself have an original, individual take on the topic which you want to share with the others, and how different it is from what the others think of the same topic. So individuality, originality is very, very important for a reflective composition, because reflective composition, as the name itself suggests, is all about reflections, and reflection means thoughts that you think yourself, not assimilation. You are not assimilating or gathering other people's opinions and other people's thoughts and writing a composition out of it. No, it's about reflection. What is going on in your own head? What do you have to contribute to the topic? What is your individual unique way of thinking about that topic? So this is extremely, extremely important. And to conclude, I would just like to add that be very careful about the word limit. Just because it is an open-ended composition and you can give it any direction you want, do not ramble on and cross the word limit. You will be penalized if you cross the word limit too much. So try to stay within the word limit. You also have a very limited period of time within which you have to finish your paper. So please keep it short, brief, and effective. And there's another thing that I would like to add. Introduce different topics in different paragraphs, different ideas in different paragraphs. Do not mix all of them in one single paragraph. If you are giving factual description, keep it in a separate paragraph. If you are giving or involving arguments, threads of arguments, incorporate all of that into a separate paragraph. And if you're writing something from your own experience, incorporate that in a different paragraph. So this has to be 3 different paragraphs. Do not mix them into one and put the factual description, other people's thoughts, your own individual take, and your personal experience in one big paragraph. Please do not do that. Break it up into separate paragraphs and then treat each paragraph as a detailed explanation of one particular idea related to the topic. So that's it for this video. Hope you got some idea as to how you can write a reflective essay. It's very simple, but it's also difficult. So I would suggest that do not go for these kinds of essays. It's always safer to go for descriptive, narrative, and story writing. So argumentative essays, reflective compositions, these are not exactly safe. It might seem easy. It is easy for some. But if you're not able to maintain a proper logical connection between your paragraphs in a reflective essay, your essay might just seem like, a mixture of various disconnected ideas. And that is not something that the examiner would support. So try to always attempt easier topics, descriptive narrative essays, and story writing. Picture composition is also very simple. And try to stay away from reflective and argumentative, because argumentative essays need facts and how strongly you can support those facts, how strongly you can write against or for the given statement. And reflective composition, why I'm asking you to avoid is because it's very vague. It is very vague, and unless you have thought a lot about the topic, chances are that your essay will seem like a disconnected ramble of ideas. So if you think you're ready for it, if you see that you've got a topic that you have a lot to write on and you've already thought a lot about that, then definitely go for that, no problem. But otherwise, try to avoid topics like these. So that's all for this video. Hope you learned something new out of it. Hope when you read the samples of reflective essays, it will all become clearer to you. Thank you. That's all for this video. See you once again in the next video.